And I love how you speak in terms of value, value extraction, where for some people, they're like, what do you mean extract value? Are we taking from people? But you mentioned how it's like, if you're solving a problem, the value exchange happens. And if no value exchange is happening, that means you're probably not really solving a good problem that's worth paying for. And I think when you start focusing on the people that want what you solve, that pay for what you solve, you're having a profitable business. Now, there's this whole philosophy, right? Which is build it and they will come, which is not very true today. You have to build what they want and perhaps they will come. And I'd be curious to know, because you provide a lot of data. Like we talked about how if you get the data, you can start making better decisions. So what I'd love to ask you is, when someone starts working with you using your tools, are there typical like, yep, these 3 things that people typically find out as soon as they start measuring that they might have been doing wrong the whole time?
Yeah, it's we have a plethora of solutions. Let's say we have a survey tool for them to talk, to communicate, to get knowledge from their visitors, if it's an e-commerce, or from their customers. We have a tool to do A/B testing and to test out which message is the most impactful. We have a tool to do customer segmentation, to identify according to Pareto, which is not Pareto anymore. So 20/80, like 80% of your results come from 20% of your customers. I think it's even worse than that in some business models. It can be like 10/90 or 5/95. So with these tools that we have, what we've understood from our customers is that they have some mental structures. There are some customers which are obsessed with customer centricity. They want their NPS, let's say, Net Promoter Score. They want to be 90. We have a customer that started with 68 and he lost a few important customers. He realized that their customer journey was crap, because it wasn't about the product, but also how you sell those products. It's the customer experience in itself. Sometimes you go for a lower quality product, but the service is incredible. And you do this kind of trade-off. So what we understood from our customers after all these years, we are 11 years at OmniConvert, is that we have different narratives. Entrepreneurs, business leaders, they have different narratives in their heads. And the most lucrative from my perspective is the one which is allowing customers to sit at the board table, what they are saying. What do they want? I mean, what kind of problem they are trying to solve? What kind of progress they are trying to make? And when you understand that, then your culture changes, the tactics, the strategies, the messaging, everything changes when you understand that let's say, the pattern is this. Let me give you an example of some of our customers which decided that they need to shift. So they were selling turmeric shots, they like small shots of turmeric. And they thought that their customers are young people willing to have more immunity, to have to be more energetic and so on. But guess what? Through the research, after we worked with them, we interviewed a person. He was a firefighter, a former firefighter, retired, and he used to be active, but now he had joint problems. And guess what? Turmeric is very good for joint problems, and it doesn't have the side effects of the ibuprofen. Those medicines that they solve something and they get other things worse. And then we interviewed other customers, which were among the best when we looked at their customer lifetime value. So we got out there, we interviewed them, and it was another person that was used to be a fitness teacher, and now he was over 70, and he had the same problems, and he couldn't have a normal life anymore. So after this, we've seen maybe there is a pattern, and then we did the quantitative surveying of their database, and we understood that their best customers were actually over 55 years old. And they weren't after immunity and energy. They were after a normal life, which those turmeric shots, because they were really well made, had no side effects, and they kept on buying them, which means for the last 3 years, that company has messaged the wrong message to the wrong audience. and that was transformative for them.
Oh my God, tell me more. This is exactly why I love conversations like this, because some people are thinking like, oh, it's about like you do some testing and you'll change a color of a button from blue to red and you'll get improvement. Not to diminish the fact that you can get some marginal improvements from there, but it's these big stories of interviewing people, understanding people, caring for people that comes through data that make you radically shift how you operate your business. So I'd be curious to know, like, they've probably had to redo their branding. They've probably had to change the messaging, and they've probably had
Yeah.
massive results doing that.
Exactly, yeah. So their customer retention went from 40% to 60% just by focusing on acquiring the right customers with the right message. Because improving customer lifetime value, as I wrote in the book as well, is not about fixing something for all the customers you acquire. So it's not like an afterthought. You begin with the end in mind. You begin with the right message to the customers that extract most of the value from your products and services. And then that allows you to have customers that keep on buying more. It was that thing from Desmond Tutu. It's a nice saying. We need to stop saving people from drowning. We need to go upstream and see why they fall in the river in the first place. So if
Oh my God, that's so true. I feel
yeah.
like using this drowning analogy, it seems like for a lot of entrepreneurs that are just like operating the business, you're spending money to acquire customers, you're doing promotions, and then you're paying to acquire customers, you're getting a few customers, and it's like you're helping them from drowning, and you get into a cycle where the company kind of like operates with little profit margin. You can generate revenue, but the profit doesn't seem to be able to unlock, because the more you grow, the less the profit. And like there seems to be a bottleneck where you're talking about saving people from drowning, but it seems like in the process of scaling your business, if you're not paying attention to this, you're the one who's getting caught in the waves now, and you drown yourself in trying to out compete and to figure out what to do. And I started this conversation thinking that, wow, people with really small businesses must have a really hard time with customer lifetime values, but it sounds like it's more for mid-market and larger organizations that get lost in the noise of data as opposed to
Yeah.
those who are directly connected with who they sell to.
Yeah. It's after building those four companies, I feel like I've been lucky without knowing what I know right now to be so open to feedback from our customers. And I think that what saved me from going bankrupt many times, And that's an incredible ability, the ability to listen, truly listen, and not market to the audience, because companies also must do the same thing as human beings. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice then we talk, but most companies keep on talking, keep on blasting their audiences with messages, sales pitch, whatever. Even in a B2B environment, you have to first listen how they verbalize the problems that your prospects have before coming out with your sales pitch around the extraordinary features or success stories that you have. Because again, even though we use a lot of words, in order to resonate between two individuals, between a company and thousands of customers, we have to we have so little time to be impactful, and that message should be simple, because people are not wasting energy on deciphering complicated things. They have a pain, and you need to articulate the fact that that pain, it can be solved, and you have that solution, but you start with the pain. So when you do marketing, when you do sales, you have to start with the struggle that the customers have. Because if they say, yes, that's who am I, that's the problem that I have. If they recognize you as you becoming aware about their pain, they instantly identify with the solution provider as well. So your sale is done already. when you do that.
Thank you so much for listening to the Selling with Love podcast. We have some previous episodes you can tune into right here. And if you prefer the short form content where you get to the point in under 10 minutes, we do have a ton of clips from our best episodes that are being shared on this channel as well. So pick which one supports you the most. And of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and of course, selling with love.